Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the JFC. It's Jaxson here, and this is a massive problem that we need to address. Now, if you guys did tune into our latest episode, the latest live show with me and Fry, I did speak that we were going to make these videos. Some problems that the Jamaican football is in some problems, and we need to fix it. As you know, we're the only ones who can, because obviously the selection committee doesn't know how to. But there are a lot that we need to go through. Again, guys, if you could drop a like, share the video, um, subscribe if you want as well. Also, you can follow us on our handles there. We'll put the Twitter on the screen for you. There is Instagram, but I was not given the handle for today. That was my bad, not the admins. So we'll go ahead and just get it right into it. And the big problem is who should start as our right back. Now, obviously, Dexter Lembikisa has been starting for the last few international windows. He's fairly young, he's into the national team, and he is a very, whoops, I'm too small, and he is a very capable player himself. Now, Lembikisa, look, let's not get anything wrong. There is talent in Dexter Lembikisa. It's clear to see. However, he's shown to be somewhat of a liability in the team itself. Against Curacao, he was awful, and he's been awful for months because we've had no one to basically take him out of the firing line and replace him with. He's been playing consistently, but not as a consistent player. Now, he does need someone there. Like when people like Damian Lowe or Ethan Pinnock and those people were coming into the team, we did have the older guard, the Michael Hectors, the Liam Moores and people like that to help the transition. There's been no transition for our right backs or even any of our full backs, to be fair, because we'll talk about left backs in another video. But we've not been able to have a proper transition. I mean, no one's there to tell him to get his hand down or to help him out of this rut. And if we keep playing him like this, then he's not going to get better and we're going to continue to struggle with our right hand side. Now, in this video right now, we're going to go through. Look, there are going to be four options, Lembikisa being one of them, as you do know, as who can start or who should start as the right back for the country going forward. Now, Lembikisa, we can talk about his pros and his cons and everything like that. But Dexter Lembikisa, as I said, he's young. He's got huge potential from the player we first saw at Wolves when he played against Liverpool in the FA Cup. Huge potential. He's got a lot of international experience for someone his age. I mean, obviously, Lamine Yamal has a lot of caps. We always go to him when we hear young players. Lamine Yamal, Desiree Doué, even Estevao has a lot of caps as well. But his problem, and it's something I've seen a lot of, and I used to call him the Jamaican Wan-Bissaka. Now, I didn't say that because, oh, he can make last-ditch tackles and he can bail his team out. He's very good defensively. On the contrary, I call him the Jamaican Wan-Bissaka because he can't mark the back post header. You know, his aerial ability is it's not his fault. He's only about 5'9", so it is difficult for a player like him to be beating top forwards in the air. So it's always difficult there. His reading of the game and all-round awareness is wank. It's absolute wank. I mean, there are multiple times he's caught out, multiple times there are runs made in behind him, and there's nothing at all that he can do. Now, yeah, obviously there are things that players can't control, but he can improve his awareness by playing first team football at the senior level. The only thing Dexter Lembikisa has done is play football at the under 21 level. He went to Lincoln City. He went to Lincoln City, and then guess what? His loan expired, and he's still at Wolves. He's playing under 21 football again, and that is not right. I mean, the JFF put out the new criteria for selecting players, as we've all seen. There is no way on God's green earth he should be in a team. There's no way. And if he is there, then they're breaking their own rules to accommodate certain players. Now, before everything, I did say players like Whisper, Kaim Dixon, they need to play first team football somewhere else. Whisper's made the move, the rest of them haven't. And that's the main problem here as to why they shouldn't be in the team. And this is why he shouldn't be anywhere near the squad either. Obviously. These are the players we're going to go into now to say, hey, these people can replace Dexter Lembikisa. Now, my first option, very unorthodox. Some people won't like it, some people will. And that's Joel Latibeaudiere. Now, yes, he is by trade a centre back. Yes, he's not the fastest. Yes, I have said a lot of things about him in the past. But there are some things that you have to say that are good about Latibeaudiere. Now, firstly, his short passing, he's in the top, if I'm not mistaken, in the 98th percentile of players in the championship in regards to pass success rate. His tackle success rate is off the charts as well, and so is his interceptions, which shows he knows how to read the game. Now, this player, Latibeaudiere, he's captained Coventry City multiple times, and even before he switched allegiance from England at the was it the under 20 World Cup, if I'm not wrong, when England won it, he was the captain. He was the guy who lifted the trophy. So he knows how to lead. He knows how to be a big game player, and he knows how to pass and read the game. Now, those are things that we miss and we lack when it comes to Lembikisa. Now, yes, he's 3 years or 4 years Lembikisa senior, if I'm not wrong. But that's what happens when you play consistently at a big man level and you get the opportunities to keep keep improving. Latibeaudiere will be playing, or most likely will be playing Premier League football next season with Coventry because of how good they are. Um, but he's should be the leading candidate to come into that back four or five, depends on how Rudolph wants to approach New Caledonia. But we're all guessing it's going to be a back four, and he should be the main man to come in at that right back position and take over. Now, yes, the bad thing is that the attacking threat won't be there. We won't have the bombing, overlapping runs. We won't have the constant joining the attack or anything like that. We're going to have a true old fashioned back in the day fullback who's going to stay as a part of the centre backs, and he's not going to really go forward. At the best, he will join up with the defensive mid-minded midfielder or the anchor in the midfield and push and try to keep the team upfield without actually going up there. Now, one thing that is a bad thing with him, even though he is ranked so highly for his passing stats, there's a good chunk of that, and by a good chunk, I mean over 86%, that is either sideways or backwards passes. His ball progression is not the best. Yes, he's a centre back, so obviously you're going to pass to your centre back partner or pass to your left for your fullback. Progression is only really to the CDMs, and if it's not Redoni or Josh Eccles, it's not going anywhere. And he hasn't actually played centre back for Jamaica. He's always been played out of position, CDM, or he has deputized at right back before. Now, another bad thing about Latibeaudiere, which is the same thing that we can say about Lembikisa, is aerial ability. Now he only stands at 5 foot 11 inches, which it's not terrible. It's not that short, but he does get beaten in the air a lot. His jumping is not the best when it comes to other strikers. For example, in division, like a Josh Madja or a Daryl DK or a Hegenberg, he can't. He doesn't have those physical attributes to go against them. Now he is strong. He's got very good stamina. Um, I'm telling you, I really think that Latibeaudiere is one of the main candidates to take over that right back position going forward. Maybe long term, and we've seen centre backs go from centre back to full back and actually perform well. Nathan Ake, Ben White, Urian Timber, players like that, Jules Kunde. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that Joe Latibeaudiere can slot in at right back and do a good job. It's not out of the realms of possibility at all. So that was option number one to replace him. Option number two is Kyle Ming. Now, this is a tad trickier. Now, the only problems with Ming, in my eyes, is that he still plays in the Jamaican Premier League. Kyle Ming, we know how good Kyle Ming is. For those who have been watching him for the greater part of 5 years, we know how talented a player he can be. He's very versatile, right? Can play anywhere along the back four. He can slot in at midfield as well. So that's the type of player he is. And if I'm completely honest, at one stage I was thinking that the centre back pairing for Jamaica going forward for the future would have been him and or Richard King and Jamoy Topi. Unfortunately, Topi is the one that has fallen by the wayside, and these two have kicked on. Kyle Ming should be one of the men shortlisted. Recently, the last two friendlies, Grenada and Martinique, Kyle Ming has played at right back. Is that a sign that, hey, he's going to be the right back going forward, seeing as, I mean, look at the other options we do have. They're not playing football at the highest level, and with the new criteria, they won't be eligible to be called up anyway. Ming is, though. Ming is here. Ming knows the football that needs to be played, especially by Rudolph's speed. And look, with all his know-how of how long he's been playing the sport, his defensive stability is what we'll finally get. No more crosses to the back post. No one can really run in behind and get away from him in regards to his positioning. And it will finally be a back four that might look, decent. It can hold together, don't concede many goals, and can actually progress the ball forward because that's one thing as well. He does always look for the forward pass as a fullback. Now, the only bad parts of him is we're going to be restricted on the wide play. Yes, I've said centre backs have progressed to be fullbacks, and we've seen a lot of them as well. However, Kyle Ming stays tucked in a lot. He doesn't really, he's not a touchline fullback. He will stay tucked in. He'll be like a second CDM in the team. And that will be a problem in some instances when we have a lack of width. Another con, it's his pace. Yes, Jamaicans are fast. Ming is not the fastest. So if he's going to be put in a foot race, and we see this, look, we have Cephas, but playing against a team like, for example, Congo with a man like Cedric Bakambu, if he's deciding to go in a foot race with Kyle Ming, he's going to beat him. If Noah Sadiki is going to go into a foot race with Kyle Ming, he's going to beat him. He's not the quickest, but he makes up for that in his positioning and his stability at the back. So I think he should also be somebody considered at least for the right back position. The problem, look, he's only got 8 caps. He's only got 8 caps for the country. He's always in and around the national team, so he does know what's needed. But I'm saying he needs a move. And by a move, I mean I could see Kyle Ming deputized in the Bundesliga. He's the quality level for those who don't understand. His quality is only going to go downhill the longer he stays in Jamaica. When you're a cut above the rest, you can't really improve unless other good players are there. And at the moment, it doesn't show where there's going to be an influx of talent to actually challenge Ming and get him to be the next level. Training camps, yeah, sure, he can go up against the Damari Grays, the Leon Baileys, the Dujon Richards, and all of those people. But locally, throughout the season, he won't get that test, and it won't really progress him as a player. But he's got to be considered. The final option, wildcard option, and a personal option. Most people don't know who this player is. I'm not gonna just leave it out there for no one to know. Well, that's Brandon Cover. Now, a little backstory, Brandon Cover was called up to the national team during the Unity Cup. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't play really. He's a player I've known about for quite some time as well. He played for Leicester City. He's now at if I'm not mistaken, Fleetwood Town on a permanent deal. He left Leicester, or I think it was Rotherham. He's at now. Yeah, he's at Rotherham now, not Fleetwood Town. And look, he is the fullback, or he is the model of the fullback that we need. Right? He's young. He's only 21 or 22 years old. He's got immense attacking threat. He's always going forward, always looking to put the cross in. He's always joining the attack. His stamina is great. He started to play for Leicester as a CDM and then transitioned out to a right back, which has been a great decision for him. In my opinion, he's very good in the air, standing at about 6'1". So his stature is not a problem for the back post crosses. And the only bad thing with Brandon Cover is the lack thereof experience. He hasn't played that much games for Leicester, and for Rotherham, he's not set the world on fire. He's only just gone there, made about 3 or 4 substitute appearances. He has started a couple of games as well, so there is a lot of room to grow for him. He's made the move in the end at the end of January to make sure he's up to as best quality as he can get for when March comes around. Now, obviously, people want to talk about the selection criteria, but I'll do you one better. He's playing in EFL League One. There is no doubt that John Russell will not be called up, and he's playing in the same division. That's all I'm gonna say. You can't call up one and then say the other one didn't come up because they're playing in a bad league. Well, we have a couple of players down there, don't we? Um, Also, his strength is not he's not the strongest player. He can't throw a player off the ball like a Kunde or a Hakimi. But he's not going to just get thrown off the ball. You're not going to see a player like Raul Jimenez just absolutely thunder him away, and then they're in behind on the right hand side or their left hand side, to be fair. So Brandon Cover, I think, should have at least a chance of being called up to take that right back position on his own. I mean, when you look at the squad, to be fair, we have young players, but none of them have a position that we're looking at to say, yes, that's their position. There are none in the team like that. And no matter how people are gonna say when they're listening to this, "Oh, when I talk about Whisper doesn't have a position. Even when Leon's not here, Whisper doesn't play. So he doesn't have a position. Kahim Dixon doesn't have a position. Karoy Anderson doesn't have a position. Lembikisa is the only one with a position, and we see that he's the worst of the four. So, 4 options at this point, right? You've got Brandon Cover, Joel Latibeaudiere, Kyle Ming, and the current starter, Dexter Lembikisa. The final thought is, what is my verdict? Now, personally, for me, and I'll go ahead and just get that off. Thank you. Um, for me, if we're not using Lembikisa and we're actually looking to progress going forward, right now the best option is Joel Latibeaudiere. By a complete logical choice, it's Joel Latibeaudiere. He plays at the highest level out of them all, and he's playing more consistently at the highest level than all of them. He is the one with the most international experience. And yes, like I think Lembikisa has more caps, but remember, one's got a World Cup win and one doesn't. So we have to look into that. And he's just all around the best player there. Now, I think it will be Kyle Ming, but for me personally, it's Latibeaudiere. What do you guys think? Get in the comments. Put down who you guys think. Say you don't want Lembikisa to play. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.